Hello, mathematicians. Welcome to math class with me, Miss Taylor. I'm glad you are here. Alrighty, let's get started. Do we have our fact practice packet? Check. Do we have our textbook? Check. Do we have our workbook? Check. Paper. Got some paper here. My whiteboard. Yep, there's my whiteboard and a pencil. I've got a pencil here, and I've got my whiteboard marker as well. So we are ready to get started. So today we are going to be looking at page 13 in our fact practice packet. And on page 13, we are adding, and we're just adding. Oh, I was going to say we're adding and subtracting, but today we are just adding. But when we're adding for today, you'll notice it says we have some regrouping, and regrouping is another word for renaming. So regrouping and renaming are the same thing. All right, so this is all adding. And again, our goal is to complete this in 1 minute or 2 minutes, or if that's not challenging, try 30 seconds or 40 seconds or maybe 50 seconds. So for me, last time, yesterday, I completed my fact practice in 38 seconds. So I think I could probably finish this a little bit faster because it's all addition. And I know when I'm adding, I'm often thinking about making a 10. I see a 10 there. I see a 10 there. Oh, I see a 10 there. There's lots of 10s here. I don't quite see a 10 here, but I know 8 plus 2 makes a 10. Okay, so I have 8 plus 2, and then I have one more. So I'm thinking I could probably do this in a little bit faster than I did it yesterday. So why don't we go ahead and see if Miss Taylor can do it. Whoops. So if you would like to pause the video and see if you can complete your fact practice, we could do a time test, see who finishes faster, you or Miss Taylor. All right, there's my timer. And before I get started, so I mentioned I like to think of tens. I like to find tens. Another thing I like to do is think of my doubles facts. Like, for example, this one, I've got my doubles facts memorized, and I bet you do too. So 9 plus 9, I know that one. This one is not a doubles fact, but it's very close, isn't it? 9 plus 8. I'm thinking about, well, I know 8 plus 8 is 16. So that's going to be 9 plus 8 is going to be one more than that. Or let's see, do I have another doubles here? Let's see, or this one, 8 plus 7, you could think about, well, I know 7 plus 7 is 14. So 8 plus 7 is going to be one more than that. So kind of just keep thinking about what strategies help you when you are doing your facts and trying to get faster and faster and really master those facts. Because if you master them, you can do them right away. It's almost like you don't even need to do the thinking. You just see those two numbers, bam, 11, bam, 14, bam, 11, so that is the goal. Let's see how quickly Miss Taylor can do her facts. Get my timer ready and go. Yes. I thought I'd be a little quicker. All right, 33 seconds. Ooh, that's pretty good for me. That might even be one of my personal records. It's pretty good. Let's see. I know I had, earlier in my packet, I was just kind of looking through. Ooh, this one I had 48 seconds. Ooh. Oh, here I had 38 seconds again. So let's go ahead and quickly check our work. So if you are still working on your fact practice, you can pause the video. And then you can pause it again when you're ready to join us. I'm just going to quickly check my answers at the back. 13, 11, 10, 11, 17. Yep. 11, 10. Yep. So just kind of quickly checking my work. It's really good for my brain to see that immediate feedback. Yep. Yep. All right. Nice work, Miss Taylor. Okay, so that is our fact practice for today. For our lesson, we are going to learn about adding 3 numbers. Now, we've been doing lots of adding, but today we are going to look at adding 3, sometimes 3-digit numbers, sometimes 2-digit numbers. So adding 3 3-digit numbers or adding 3 2-digit numbers. So we are going to look for today on page 45. 45. Here we go, we're on page 45. And we are going to look at this problem. And let's go ahead and see how they're doing this one. So we have 3 numbers that we're adding for today. So we have 186, 249, and 38. Now, it would be very prudent of us to draw lines to separate the ones and the tens and the hundreds, especially now that we have more numbers, because it can get pretty tricky when we have more and more numbers. There's lots more places for us to make mistakes because we have to do more steps. So the first thing we do, and here they're showing us, the first thing we do is we add the ones. So we can see here in the ones place, we have 6 plus 9. Ooh, what's 6 plus 9? 15. Ooh, now 15 plus 8. 15 plus 8, 23. Oh my goodness. So here, we definitely can't put 23 in the ones place. So what we need to do is rename it as 2 10s and 3 1s. Is that still 23? Yes, we still have 23. We're just, instead of calling it 23 1s, we're calling it 2 10s and 3 1s. So remember this 2 10s, this means 20 plus 3. All right, step 2, we add the tens. So now we are looking in the tens place. And I can kind of cover up our ones here. Now we're just looking in the tens place. So now we have 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 3 more is 15, but don't forget that 2 there, which is why I like you to circle it. So then we have 17 tens. We can't put 17 tens in the tens place, but we can rename it as 100, 7 tens. And we still have 17 tens. Remember, 17 tens is the same as 170. 170. All right, and then the final step is we add the hundreds. So then we go over here. We add 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. And our answer is 473. All right, let's try one together. So this kind of shows us the steps. Let's try, why don't we try this one, number 21. It says 172 plus 487 plus 74. All right, now when we are adding these numbers, just like usual, it's really important that we line up the ones under the ones and the tens under the tens and the hundreds under the hundreds. So I like to draw lines to make sure I have all my digits in the correct place. And then another thing you can do if it helps you, you can put a 0 here in the hundreds place just to kind of keep our spot there. All right, now we always start in the ones place. We always start at the top. So 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 4 more, let's see, 9 plus 4 is 13. Can I put 13 ones here? Nope, it has to be a 1-digit number. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename it. So 13 ones is the same as 110 and 3 1s. So do we still have 13? Yes. We're just renaming it. So we're saying 9, let's see, 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 4 is 13. We can't put 13 here, but we can put 1 10 and 3 ones. So 10 and 3 makes 13. All right, let's go to the middle column, the tens place. And I see 2 7s. So I'm going to take a look at these 2 7s. 7 plus 7 is 14. I'm pretty good with my doubles facts. 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 8. Let's see. 14 plus 8. I know 14 plus 6 gets me up to 20, and then 2 more. So I'm at 22 plus 1, 23. Now, can I put 23 in the tens place? 23 tens. Ooh, 23 tens is the same as 230. I can't put 230 here, but what I can do is rename it. And I can rename it as 200s, 3 tens. 200, 3 tens. Do I still have 23 tens? Is this the same as 23 tens? Yes, because 23 tens, when you just add a 0, is the same as 230. So, but be careful here. Make sure you put the 200s here and the 3 here. If we switched it and we put, if I put the 3 here and the 2 here, is that 23 tens? No, this would be 32 tens. We don't have 32, we only have 23. So make sure that you think about that first number goes up here. And then I can go to the hundreds place. I have 2 plus 4. I'm going to do these first. I see 2 plus 4, that makes 6. Plus 1 more is 7. And there we go. So when you are adding 3 numbers, please be very careful with your renaming. And you'll notice sometimes you might have a 2 in your renaming. So that can be a little bit tricky. So be careful with that one. Okay. I did want to quickly go through one word problem together. So let's take a look at this one. Number 22 at the bottom. There were 102 boys, 86 girls, and 40 adults at a concert. How many people were there at the concert? Okay, so let's see. We read the problem. Let's underline the question. We'll just do it with our finger because that's the textbook. We'll write an answer sentence. Thank you, workbook. There were blank people at the concert. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is identify the who and or the what. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to draw my 2 lines here to separate, and we are talking about people. And you could say people at a concert or something like that. That would be lovely if you did that. Yes. Okay, and I know they've given us our answer sentence, but I'm just going to go ahead and write my answer sentence down here for good practice. There were blank people, people. That's how I remember how to spell the word people. Looks like people. There were blank people at the concert. And I'm going to make sure I have a capital letter and an end mark. All right. So I've got my answer sentence. Here's my who or my what. Now we're going to draw a unit bar. And that goes in the middle here. Okay. Fancy name for a rectangle. Then I'm going to reread the problem, adjust and chunk my unit bar, fill in the information, write a question mark for the unknown. So this step 4 is the one there's a lot to do here. So let's go back to our question. There were 102 boys, 86 girls, and 40 adults at a concert. How many people were there at the concert? So there's kind of like 3 different groups of people. There's some boys, there's some girls, and there's some adults. So I'm going to chunk my unit bar into 3 chunks. And then I'm going to write my question mark because I know we're trying to find out how many people altogether. And there were 102 boys, 86 girls, 40 adults at the concert. All right. And if you wanted to label it even more, you could label it. That always helps us and something that good mathematicians and scientists do. I'm going to write B, G, and A. Boys, girls, adults. Okay. Next up is we're going to work our computation. And that is a fancy word that means add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So over to the side here, I'm going to add because we're trying to find out how many people there were all together. Make sure to try to line up my digits in the correct place so I don't have a 4 floating over here in the hundreds place. In fact, I could put zeros here to help me make sure that I've lined everything up correctly. Could draw my lines here. All right. So here I have 2 plus 6, which is 8. Let's go over here to the tens place. I have 8 plus 4, which is 12, but I can't put 12 in the tens place. What I can do is rename it as 100 to tens. And then in my hundreds place, I have 100 plus 100 is 200. So let's see, I've worked my computation. Now I'm going to fill in my answer and check to see that it makes sense. So I'm going to go over here in my question mark. I'm going to cross it off. I'm going to write in my answer and think about, would that make sense that 102 boys and 86 girls and 40 adults, altogether 228 people? I think that would make sense because it's a bigger number and we tried to find the whole and we were given 3 parts. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my answer and I'm going to give myself a little check. Nice job. Alrighty. So that is how we do a word problem with adding 3 numbers. So your homework for today is, let's see, we're going to work on page 55 and 56. And what that looks like is, let's see, page 55. Here's page 55. And page 56. So normally on page 56 where we have word problems, I would ask you to try to do all the steps, try to do a unit bar or number bonds, which you definitely can, but I'm going to make that optional again for today because we don't have a lot of space here. And then with this one, this is actually a 2-step problem. So I would really like you to focus on your computation for today. And remember that means add, subtract, multiply, or divide because especially this one can be kind of tricky because it's a 2-step problem. So I really want you to focus today on doing careful addition, careful computation. So again, if you would like to try doing all the steps, you definitely can. We just don't have a lot of space on this page, so I'm going to make that optional for you. So your homework is page 55 and 56. Let's do one together on this page. I'm going to draw my lines to separate. I'm going to draw a little arrow so I remember to start in the ones place at the top. And I have 9 plus 8. Well, I know 8 plus 8 is 16. So 9 plus 8 is going to be 17. Oh, I can't put 17 there. So I'm going to rename it as 110 and 7 ones. Let's see, is that still 17? Yeah, it's still 17 because remember now this 1 stands for a 10. So now we have a 10 and 7, which is the same as 17. All right, let's go to our tens place. I see a 6 and a 4. This 6 and 4 gives us 10, 11, 12. Now, can we put 12 in the tens place? Nope, but we can rename it as 100 to tens. Now, do we still have 12 tens? Is that the same as 12 tens? 120? Yeah. And then we have 100 plus 100 plus 100. If you want to put a 0 there, you definitely can, which makes 300. Then we're going to go down here and check our answers down below. And hopefully we will spot this answer, 327. If we don't, that's okay. It just means we made a mistake somewhere here and we need to go back and fix it. Ooh, but look at that. I see that we did it correctly. Yay! So that is page 55. And then when you get to page 56, we're going to try some word problems. But again, here, unit bars and all of those things are going to be optional. But if you wanted to, you definitely could do your kind of your lines to separate. Could write about your who and your what, your unit bar, your computation. So for example, let's see, this one is about Mrs. Kennedy, and it looks like she made some tarts. Ooh, it's making me hungry. My tummy's growling. So if you wanted to, you could say Miss Kennedy's tarts. Oops, I forgot to underline my question, didn't I? There's our question. How many tarts did she make all together? They have our answer sentence for us. Thank you, workbook. And then when we do our unit bar or a number bond, the only difference with this is now we have 3 parts because we're adding 3 numbers. So she made 95 apple tarts, 98 pineapple tarts, and 57 orange tarts. Yum. So it would look like that. And then over here, you're going to work your computation. So you're going to line up your numbers in the vertical way. Vertical means up and down. So you might need a little more space because we're adding 3 numbers. So that would look like this. And if you wanted to do all of the steps, this is kind of what it would look like. I'm going to let you go ahead and finish. But again, just try to really be careful today on your computation. Now that we're adding bigger numbers, and especially here, now we're adding 3 3-digit numbers, be very careful. And then this one is going to be a good challenge for us because this is a 2-step problem, number 4. It talks about a watch and a camera. What is the cost of the camera? And then what is the total cost of the camera and the watch? Ooh, interesting. Okay, so be careful with this one. This one can be tricky for students, but I'm going to let you have a try at it. So that is your homework for today, 55 and 56. Doing all of the steps is optional, but a really good challenge for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, mathematicians, and I will see you again soon. Bye.